This will be a quick tour of Google Docs. To get there, you're going to want to go to google.com, make sure you're signed in, and you have the little button for apps. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to go into Google Drive. Your Google Drive is your cloud drive, and it has multiple parts that you can use and store. Under the Create button, you can put a folder if you want to get things organized, but for now we'll go straight to a document. And when you open that document, it's going to look very similar to other products that are on the market for word processing. To title it, you can simply click, and I could put Demo Doc and tell it OK. If I needed to get back to Drive, I could do so by coming through the document home. And of course it's going to give me a tour because it's the first time. And then Drive would be right here. Please notice that when I moved here, I got the newer version of Google Docs. So that may happen to you. The newer look is popping up when you move around between the parts and pieces. I'm going to come back to My Drive because here's the one I started working on, and I can reopen that by just simply clicking. When you have a document, one of the things that people are most used to doing under File is Save. Google Docs is going to automatically save your work as you go, so there's no need to save. I'll get into share settings, which you can do here or over here in another video. You can do the typical things, open new documents or other tools. You can open, rename, make a copy. But I want to purposely point out something called See Revision History. Right now, See Revision History isn't going to look like much because I haven't done too much. But this is a great place to come back and see how has your document changed over time. And at any point, you can restore back to a previous version. It would have that option here. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to type in, this is a sample doc. We are learning how to use Google Docs. Good news is it does spell check for where you're in a rush or you didn't get it right. And if I came back to the revision history, I'm going to start to have a little bit more. Again, the more detail will show more things. You can go backwards. Now, in this case, both of them were empty. But at any point, you can click to restore a revision. Even in the shared docs where you have a lot of people, remember it's up to 50, using that document, you can still come back and get back to a certain point, or you can see who has made what changes. This is very powerful for teachers, especially if you want to have students work together on revising a document. You have your typical things under Edit, also under View. Insert, I want to point out a couple of things. You have images, you have links, equations, drawings, tables, just like you did. You also can insert comments either from here or from up here. So that's one of the tools that becomes part of this. Format allows you to do your changes to the way it's set up. Under Tools, they have a special tool that I want to point out today, and that's called Research. So as a teacher, if my child or my student is studying about World War II, they could type that into the research panel. Now in this case I specifically did Google, but if your school has a subscription to Scholars, Quotes, Dictionary, you have all kind of different things they can search, but in this case I'll stick with Google. It will pull up pictures for your students. So if they were going to work on this and they found a picture they liked, they're able to come in and click on the picture. They can come out and look at it. And I'll let that load. We're getting a little bit of a lag here. While we're waiting on that, what I wanted to show you is that if I drag this picture and drop it in, Google's going to build it into the document, but they're also going to footnote it for me, and at the bottom they will include the reference of where that picture came from, which is a great tool to help students as they research. You also have the ability to come through the web results. Wikipedia, of course, came up first, so I would probably be on the kids' case about checking other places first. If they know they're going to use something, so we're going to make up a sentence here. And we're going to pretend we got that from a website. If this is the website that I got it from, I could simply hit Cite, and again, I get a footnote and I get the citation for that website. You also have the ability, of course, to just put the link in or to preview. I don't think lately preview's been working very well through our Archdiocese servers, so that unfortunately seems to be blocked right now. But the children don't even have to leave the tool panel or the document to be able to go and do their research. You can put tables just like anything else. You still have your dictionaries and things that the kids are used to, their definitions, their word count. You also have a help button for when you get stuck. Add-ons, while I don't have Lenny loaded in this particular account, if you go to get add-ons, it will take you out to a piece of the Chrome store for add-ons. And this allows you to add little programs into your Google Docs. And unfortunately, they don't seem to be loading right now. But sometimes there are pieces like the EasyBib has one that can be loaded in. You may also have to talk to your domain administrator because some of these may be turned off and need to be turned on when you're in a school account. But you would be able to add in the ones you're interested in, and then you could work with them from this menu. So those are just a few of the quick little things you can do here in a Google document. The one last one I want to show you in this is how to comment. If you were in somebody's document and you wanted to comment, you could highlight the part you want to comment on, and you can click on comments. Notifications allows you to decide, do you get email notifications every time somebody comments on this document. I'm going to go ahead and click on comment. And on the side, it immediately gives the name of the person, and they are able to type in a comment. Great word for your introduction. And then at that point, I can go ahead and click on comment, and the comment stays on the side. If this was somebody else's document that I had shared, they have the ability to fix it and resolve it, or they can leave it here. You also could delete it or edit it if you wrote it. The other person, when they're in their document, can come and click on the words and add a reply, and so can you for that matter. So there can be a conversation. If a student puts some information that's confusing and the person commented that they didn't understand, they might want some more specific information to be given about that problem. And so this would allow the children to work together and collaborate and do all of that in a digital format.